right, we're back. Thank you for letting us have that quick break. I was supposed to do it earlier and I didn't because we're a little behind, but that's fine. All right, so done with the sad story. So here's OniCon. This was the first ever event that I was a guest at, and I was really, really thankful to OniCon for taking that risk with me and having me as their first guest. And additionally, still to this day, one of the cons that I've been treated nicer at. They treated me like any other guest, even though it was my first time coming in, and I was definitely like a lower on the tier list. Like they made sure I had my rehearsal time, they made sure I was taken care of, and yeah, they were great. And they even let me have Kimura Yu model for me, which was amazing. And let me tell you, Kimura Yu, like, it doesn't matter if who you are, if she's modeling for you, she puts in all her goddamn effort. She had these little hair puffs in her hair that came out during the show. And so she picked them up and she did a whole cheerleading routine with them for like a full minute. And I was just blown away that she put that much energy into a show for me, and also like recovered that sort of wardrobe malfunction in such an amazing way. I wish we had a video recording of it because it's amazing. You can see more photos over on Buckcape's site of that show and of the other guests who were there too. But yeah, that was a great time. I had some fantastic models. Look at all those models.
OniCon was sad for me because I think I was supposed to be there, and there was like a hurricane in Florida that I ended up having to go down to Florida and miss the event.
Yeah, that was that one.
And then I couldn't. I've still never been.
Oh,
maybe 2022.
Maybe. Yeah, we missed you. Yeah,
I regret that. I'm very sad. Very sad.
Oh, well, see, OniCon, we'll just have to have you again. And let's click. All right. Station Con, the little tiny one, and now is where like I've started turning into a booth.
Yeah, this booth is in shadow. Very sad lighting.
Yeah, but there were 6 artists at this con. So.
Oh, okay. So like limited options, then it's like, yeah, I bet you did well.
Yeah, I did fine. It was a tiny con. I did all right, and I mostly came to go to Atlanta, visit. You can see I'm still using the same AX banner, of course.
Nope, that's the AX banner. The meets.
Amkey, which was one of the first events I did since like that's like a Midwest one.
Oh yeah. I feel like this is the one that it overlapped with another event, and I end up doing your fashion show stuff at the other event, but I can't remember what it overlapped with.
Oh, shoot, what is it?
What time of the year is it?
Feb.
Is this KatsuCon? This is KatsuCon.
Yeah, so KatsuCon.
This was that KatsuCon that we were talking about earlier with that model.
This was the KatsuCon where I nearly destroyed Lena by making her run a fashion show for me. That was complicated.
Well, I was in the fashion show and I was running your stuff for the fashion show, and because I technically had about 20 models under my control, I couldn't remember anybody's name, and so it was just like. So here's the thing about KatsuCon too. Like, this is now about me, not about you. Every KatsuCon fashion show, I have a panic attack.
No, and not made any better by having to run all of my stuff for me while I'm sitting happily in Milwaukee over here. I'm sorry for that.
Worse. A few weeks ago, I had a dream about the KatsuCon fashion show, and I don't know why. It was a bad time.
The show was really good, though.
Nobody sees behind the scenes. No. It's just fine. This is fine.
Did I skip? No, Techo hasn't happened yet. Techo's about to happen. We'll talk about sadness behind the scenes of Techo. But yeah, Amkia, like the Milwaukee community, is always very nice to me. Bitterbat actually runs the con, so it's nice to see her, though she's usually busy running the vendors hall. And but yeah, it was kind of like Menhera Con because Bitter and Cherry Cheesy, back when she did Menhera, would be there, and so we had like a little Menhera get together. Fun. An aside, there's not a big Menhera community, so when we get to see each other, it's pretty rare, especially in the States, because there's like 2 or 3 Menhera per city. I think Pittsburgh might have a little bit more now because I've been converting people, and I think Houston has may have like a handful, but that's about it. Yeah, we're everywhere. Yeah. Ah, here we go.
There it is.
Techo. All right. I was considering showing the fashion show here, but I'm wondering if we have time for that. I don't know.
Well, do you have the fashion show up on a YouTube or something that we can link for people later on?
I have it up.
Because it is an excellent fashion show. Like it is a whole involved dealio, and I definitely recommend you guys checking it out. We might skip it now because of time, but if you want to show highlights, Puvi.
Yeah, I think I'll show the part. I'll just show the big part. All right, so I'm gonna pause this. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there for a second, and we're gonna talk about it for a second. So earlier, Emma introduced me to the fantastic Toshi, the Dolphy, who is amazing, fantastic, talented person, very sweet person too, very supportive of new artists, and we got to do a really cool photo shoot together, which is also another one of my highlights. Was like, I have briefly talked to you online. I'm going to show up in your house. I am not a photographer. I am an amateur with my 10-year-old camera that was a starter camera 10 years ago. And this professional model who gets paid to do photo shoots has agreed to collaborate with me for a photo shoot and wear my stuff. And I was very nervous, but Toshi's very sweet. So we did this awesome photo shoot that we
ended up being a zine, right?
Yeah. I'm very proud of that zine.
Wait, what was it called? No, that was the name of a different one. I don't remember what it was called. Sorry.
I don't remember either.
It was very cool.
Disassociation. So we did like a set where she posed with mannequins. I might show it to you later about Disassociation. Very cool set. Ended up getting like put into some British library that was collecting zines, and I was like, oh, honored. Yes, but Toshi then agreed to model for me for Techo, and so since I knew I had somebody who could really, do the acting part, and I had some fantastic models, we planned something really cool, and I'll show you just a little bit.
Question: Is that Grace in the pink wig?
It is
bothering me. Yes,
that's Grace.
Grandpa, I love them.
Yeah, they're great. All the models are. This was the photographer Maya, who's also does my photography, came to me later and like, that was amazing, but I wish you had warned me ahead of time, because he was just like, oh shit, put it on action mode, click 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 click. She got some quality photos. All right, I'm going to show you the part that nobody was expecting. This is Creepy's music again, of course. Oh, poor Natalie.
Love Natalie. They're so good. Their entry for your fashion walk yesterday was also just like the same bubbly, charming energy.
I was crying. Natalie was so nervous about this too, and I was like, no. I gave you the hardest spot because I know you can handle it. And you're about to see why she had the hardest spot of all the models. Oh, is Alexis coming on to tell me nobody can hear the music?
I can't hear the music.
All right, we'll pause that. Oh, because that musical key is important. Because I didn't share screen in the proper way. All right.
That is 100% what Alexis is coming on to do.
I'm thinking I've done enough shows with Alexis to know that now. All right. That should be playing. That should be playing the music now. Can you hear the music?
Very soft.
I don't know if I can boost it. Yeah, that's fine. The streamers can turn it up for a second.
I feel like I can hear it through your speakers. And
can you see Toshi back there, like getting ready to sneak on? Like she's not even on stage yet, and she's on her game. So I dropped the. So Creepy laugh. Me. Okay, I think it just does this for a second. All right.
Yeah.
Yes. Ah, that moment was so good. Right? Like, and this was my first big show on a big stage with the lights, with the everything, with the superstar model. And we planned out this ridiculous ass shit, and nobody was expecting it.
Toshi just recently posted a thing that was like, hey, leave a gif of how we met. And I'm like, oh, it was definitely this techo. And I was trying to find a good gif of like a contortionist because this is the only thing I actually remember from the first time we met.
Yeah, so some fun. Everybody was having a bad time, unrelated. Like Emma was having a time, Jordana was having a time. I was having a time because all of my garments, I worked with a new manufacturer, and they ended up not having my garments ready, and I actually had to mail like pay someone to drive to Cincinnati to pick up a little bit of what they got. So I had to change every single model's outfit the day of, because they didn't have one of the parts done at all, even though it was done. Like they just didn't do it for some reason. They made it up to me. They did make it up to me, but I was having a crisis. Changed all of the models' looks.
That's literally the dream that I had the other night, where I had to do that, and then it one step further, where that didn't happen this time, fortunately, because like I would put one garment on a model and then they'd disappear, and then I didn't have anybody. So you're half of the worst nightmare I've ever had.
Yep, it happened, and
it happened.
This was also one of the last.
This knife you laser cut that knife.
No, the knife is a prop. I laser cut eyes and glued it onto the knife to make it look cool. Toshi still wears that knife a lot. I like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I made the harness, the cat on there. I made that too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is like one of the best. I got a really good gif out of this section. The camera people did a great job with this too. I'm glad we got this actually filmed, because nobody would believe me that the show was this good. But yeah, oh man, but I was having a time, and this was one of the last shows I had where I had a lot of Lolita models who had not used to any J fashion, who had signed up because they wanted to model for the brand and ended up getting picked by me. So it was very interesting. Actually, one of those girls gave me my first ever gift. Oh, I was gonna bring it out. It's back there. Gave me my first ever gift I've received as a designer, just because she saw that I was like having a crisis and was still getting everything done. And she was like, I bought an extra of the special edition baby blue Yusakumas, and I had an extra, and I think you need it. So here you go. And I still have it next to my desk. Well, it's back at my shelf now as like a little cute memory of that, the first time anybody gave me anything. And it was, she had no idea who I was. She only modeled Lolita, and she was like, oh, I guess I'll try this. This is something new for me. It came out. Oh, so after the show, I was like so stressed that I went home and I just bawled. I was just sitting on the couch for 30 minutes with Gabe like giving me pats, and I was just bawling. And the entire time I'm getting all of these messages like screaming like, holy shit, Puvi, we asked for a fashion show and you came out with a 3-act play. And all of this like amazing positive feedback. And I'm just like, oh, thank you. Oh, it was fun. I guess we'll let Kuribayashi shoot her and then we'll go on. Oh no, because yeah.
That's at the end.
This was planned to be the finale, and it ended up getting moved last minute. So that's why we had them all come out. That was cute. I haven't watched this bit of it in a while. Look at Daniel. Daniel's so cool. Oh, that was great. We planned it to be like, we had like a Lolita Collective segment, and then we had the Japanese brands. And so it was planned to be like, this is the finale of the Lolita Collective segment. So here is all of the Lolita Collective brands together.
help. Your cheers will help us defeat monsters.
Trying so hard to be a voice actor. Damn, I did such a good job at this show, you know. I did so good watching this. I'm like, yeah, we had Kuribayashi come out, and she's powered up by everybody's cheers and is finally able to defeat Toshi. And Toshi gives like the performance of her life over here. It's so good. Oh man. We're gonna do the next fashion show we get to do post-COVID. I'm gonna top this. That's my goal, is I'm gonna top this somehow. Top 10. Thank you, commenter. Oh, that was so good. That was so good. All right. Let's stop it there before we awkwardly walk off. Yes, that was another key point. The point where I was like, all right, I don't there's been a change in kind of philosophy with the newer designers, and particularly the casual lines. Previously, the idea of fashion shows is that you are modeling the garments and you're trying to show off the garments to sell the garments. And that is also in line with kind of quote unquote real fashion. That's how those shows are styled. And part of that is part of why they're a little drier is on purpose, is because it's supposed to be showing off the garment. But all of us casual line people, we more kind of were like, you know, I don't really care about showing off the garment. I want to show off the feel of the set. And I feel like if you get the feel of the set, you will come and look more closely at the garment yourself later. So we started doing throughout theatrical shows to give you a very high sense of that feel.
That's a big difference also, I think, in general with a lot of fashion shows at conventions. It tends to have a little bit more theater to it because you're here for an event that's not just a fashion show. You're here for a convention. And if those brands are here as a part of the event, you want to like catch people's interests to get them to come and look for these, you know, people. So it's like even my fashion shows, which do tend to lean more traditional, there's a little bit of theater and there's a story being told in that walk.
I'll switch back to the presentation.
Yeah, you can see how wearable stuff is.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. My model over there who I made run the gambit. That's thank you for running that gambit. I want to say that was a very typecast model spot too. Like I didn't fit a look to you. I picked you because you were already the look, and then I fit the look to you. I do that a lot with my models. I try to fit the look to them, which comes out with a better show, I think. But yes, yeah. We also at conventions, we have a lot of non-fashion attendees, so a lot of them don't necessarily understand why fashion is involved at conventions at all. And so part of our idea is that we go, oh no, actually there's stuff for you, like, and we make it entertaining for them too. Yeah. And this is one of the memes that Creepy submitted. I did a meme contest with this photo that Maya took afterwards. That was a lot of fun. All right. I'm not going to talk too much about Otakon because reasons, but that show was also really great. I got a great fan sent video. I did.
There was the event where I ended up under a table because I was done. That's all that needs to be said about Otakon. I was under a table.
I will say I will make one. This is the con where we had to move our booth in the middle of the. I'm not going to say why we had to move it or the situations, but we had to move all of our booths in the middle of the event. So at 10 p.m. at night on Friday, there were a bunch of Lolitas, including like the Belladonna designers, one of them who's like half my height, carrying a whole fucking grid wall running across the hall. And that was one of those times where I was like, who says women are weak? Did they look? Lolita Collective is moving 4 booths across the room right now.
The thing about Otakon is please support their fashion content so that they'll let us keep doing it and so that things will get better.
Yes, Otakon, that show, I had a whole quality cast of models. I have some of my best customer interactions at Otakon. My sales obviously are also very good. But yeah, this is the model group. We did another fun. I also like kind of sprung this on Otakon. They had initially signed me up for Lolita content, and I was like, "Do you mean Goro Kawaii zombie looks?"
This was another performance where like Creepy was a monster that you brought to life on stage.
Yeah, that was so cool. I got a fan video that I couldn't find for today. That was we arranged with Creepy. He's gonna like we're gonna like release him and summon him on stage, and he went up and he yelled, and we got him screaming, and then all of the audience screamed in response. And I have a really fun video of everybody being like, "Oh my God, what has happened?" That was good. I also got out the two shortest models to walk Daniel out to like really make like this whole like make him seem really big, and he had his like giant platforms on. He actually sprained his ankle on stage and just kept walking. I was like, oh my baby. Oh yeah, and then I actually bussed him in for this, like bussed him down from where he lives, and his bus got on in a crash on the way back, and I was just like, oh no.
Everyone had a bad time. This was fine.
My baby, he got in a bus crash for me. Oh no. Oh, everybody please support Creepy. He cares so much about fashion that he broke his back in a bus for us. So oh, I should stop talking.
I also ended up under a table at this convention.
You did. You did. I don't remember why though.
Okay, that was not a bad thing. I was just like, I wanted to get to the other side of our booth, but I didn't want to walk around our booth because we ended up with a really big booth for this one. So I started crawling under, and then I got stuck halfway.
Oh yeah, and I laughed at you and took a photo instead of helping.
Yes, I have the photo still of my legs just sticking out. I'm wearing Twinkle Journey, and it's legs and then sneakers because fashion.
We had a good booth setup for that con. That was a good booth setup.
Yeah. This was your first Matsuri Con. I think this was my second. And they're another great show. They're in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio.
Is it my first? I thought
it might have been your second. I don't know. I feel like we did it 1 year before.
We did.
But we did it in the Artist Alley. That's what it was. In 2017, we split an Artist Alley booth. And in 2018, we split a Vendors Hall booth. And then we got like an end cap kind of thing, and we were able to make like a double booth.
Yeah, and then we had a little extra space. That was fun. That was a great. And then the vendors hall was really small, so we like made all the money.
Yeah, we did well at that one.
Yeah, 2019 MatsuryCon grew into a bigger space, so it had a little bit of growing pains. But I got to vend with Cherry Cheesy, which was amazing. She's super talented. But I have to go through these quickly so we can talk about London Gate. Yeah, and then AWA 2018. I was all over the place and messed up Lena's modeling a bit. I'm sorry. But I got Peachy Parade did a performance for me, which was so amazing. I love working with them. They're very talented. They got like the message of the song into the music, and they were part of a performance for us. So that was amazing.
We were at you, me, Jordana, Badger, and then I think, oh my gosh, what's their name? It's something Danger, right? There were
50% dangerous.
Yeah, 50% dangerous. We were all actual fashion guests for AWA with Listen Flavor as well.
Yes.
So I remember at the AWA tea party, you got really close friends with the Listen Flavor people.
Kind of, but like,
you tried.
Yeah, tried. Effort was made.
Yeah.
I was really that year really trying to push myself everywhere.
For me, this was like highlight. Like I was a guest at AWA. Like that's a big event. Yeah. I was not prepared for that.
You did great.
Yeah.
Even with me screwing up your model lineup. I'm sorry.
That was okay. We don't have to talk about that.
Okay, we won't then. Yay. Well, I hope I get to work with Peachy Parade again. That was fun. Oh yeah, I couldn't find pictures of HelloCon. So I did HelloCon in 2018 as well, and with a lot of Lolita Collective guests, and we had a fun time. And Triple Fortune complimented me on my knowledge of Menhera, which is also another one of those moments where I'm like, oh, yay.
I love that HelloCon is summed up with what I can only assume is some kind of liquor.
Okay, yes, it's salmiakki flavored vodka. The Finns would understand. The Finns understand why I've used this paper.
Okay.
this paper, this photo. Yes. HelloCon 2019. So I forgot the real name of the event, but there are 2 events in Finland that are amazing. And I try to go every year because I need to get out of the States sometimes. And it's nice to go see all my friends over there. What a great time. That's another highlight, is like getting to like be like, oh, I'm going international with my Barando. Should I be going international with my Barando? Maybe not, but is it a free vacation? Yes.
I mean, it's better, I think, to go to international events because you get to have a fun break. You stay for twice as long as what you need to, and shipping outside to the U.S. internationally is outrageous. So people don't have to pay those shipping costs if you're at the event, and it's like it's nothing that we can do about that except for maybe go to those events.
Yeah, a lot of fun. I will highly recommend HelloCon to anybody if you're looking to do one out of the States event. I highly recommend all the HelloCon events. They're going to be in Turku eventually when they can hold their events, and Turku in a historical castle. So a funny fact about HelloCon 2019 is it wasn't a castle, but it's like apparently a baby castle, and none of the Europeans consider it a castle. But me and the one other American were running around the whole time being like, castle, castle, castle. And they're like, that's not a real castle. But the Turku event is in a real castle, apparently.
I feel like HelloCon has their own YouTube channel where they have the fashion shows, or there are fan recordings of the fashion shows. And you had a really, like, the setup for this one is not like your standard. It's more traditional fashion show. But I remember your collections for these events. I watched them, and those were good fashion shows if you like watching those.
Yeah, I enjoyed the HelloCon fashion shows are set up a little more standard, which I don't mind. And they, I like them a lot because they feature a lot of European indie designers I've never seen before. So for me, it was very exciting seeing all of the new designers. Oh, Moitié. What am I saying? Mana was at this one. This was the first event that knew Moiti.
What? Close enough. I don't speak French.
New was presented. And that was cool being at an event with Mana. It's funny. And yeah, after that, got to go to a cool tea party and eat lots of Polish food with Lady Sloth, which was a lot of fun. And I hope I can do that again sometime. Also, poor Poland. I'm sorry, Polish people, that your government is being real stupid. Hopefully it will stop being real stupid soon. But yes, that was fun. Getting to meet the Polish community was fun. Yeah, look at that. We went.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, I bought a new phone for this trip, so that I would have a good camera. I think yes. Yomacon was another one that they hadn't had a fashion event before, so they brought me on. The Detroit Lolita community was amazing and kind of basically ran everything. They also threw a tea party for me, which with steak, and I was just like, oh my god, they're buying me steak. I had a fantastic group of models for this as well. We had a little more low key, but still really fun show with the more like punkish Minhara going on. Look at that! I love his hair. Look at his hair. I love his hair.
Isn't that the Toshi hair that she did for you?
Oh, my hair?
Yeah, that's Toshi.
All of my hair color Toshi did for me. You can see that like with the pandemic, I'm like sorely missing Toshi.
I did my own last week and that was fun. I've never I know how to bleach hair, but I've never done my own.
I just like I don't like I know whatever bleach hair product like I have Indian hair.
Yeah.
It's not like African American hair. It's not like white people hair.
No.
It's somewhat like Asian hair, but like it's kind of in between. Yeah, and it's thin. My hair is thin. So I want somebody who knows what they're doing to bleach my hair because I don't think I could do it. I've considered maybe asking Toshi to like babysit me and do it, but I'm also like, you know what, whatever, I'll just wait.
The problem with doing your own hair, which now we're off topic again, is that like I don't have the coordination to do it on myself. Like I can't see the back of my head. So I had somebody help me do the back of my head and I ended up with banding. I was able to go in and fix the banding. Unfortunately, I took the whole mess and I pinned it to the top of my head. So I have a like leopard print spot right here that got bleached to the top back of my head. Fortunately, I use a dark color, so it's not super noticeable, but like I keep my roots my natural color and at least 4 inches of that, so it has a fade. But yeah, it's pandemic things that are happening.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's fine. Yes.
It's fine.
Yeah, curly hair, by the way. Curly hair, you just have to know how to treat curly hair differently. Everybody tells you I'm still mad at everybody telling me wrong things all my life. Like, oh, people getting mad at me for not blow drying my hair, and then it ends up actually never blow dry curly hair, let it air dry.
Yeah.
And then also like your washing is different. So actually curly hair needs to be washed less, which took me a while to learn. It has to be dried differently, and it has to be styled wet, basically.
Yes.
Style it wet, it'll do what it wants and it'll be beautiful. But if you try to dry style it, it's difficult. This hairstyle works for dry styling, but yes. I could give you like a whole bunch of thoughts about my hair, and my hair journey is a whole like 10-page story.
What event is this? Is this just a photo shoot that you did?
No, so last year I switched focus from doing conventions to trying to run some of my own small events. I did the Betty Beat event in Atlanta that went well, but unfortunately I didn't have photos easily accessible. That was a lot of fun. I brought down Scarving Scars for that, who I met. Oh, I also met her at ACON, that ACON. No, the second ACON, the ACON we were guests at.
It was 2018.
Yeah,
we all went to some place together for dinner.
Yeah, that's so funny. We went with some other people who wanted to go to a particular KBBQ. And so we were like, yeah, whatever, we'll go. And it was like a terrible KBBQ. So me and Tyler are spending the whole KBBQ like side-eyeing each other and like being shady about the Korean barbecue we went to. Tyler's great. We got along really well. And so when she came down to Atlanta, we took her to like real K barbecue. It was a good time. Yeah, that was in Atlanta. That was great. Then I did this New Orleans event in October, pre-Halloween party with my New Orleans community. My friend Sora Calling, he had booked a venue. I had when I did my bachelorette party, I had watched one of his shows at this venue, and I asked him, "Hey, how much that venue cost? It seems like I might be able to do an event there." And the venue, he said, "Oh, it was free," and I was like, "What?" Well, it ends up it's like an indie venue that's run by some people who run the bar of the venue. And their idea is they usually bring in musical talent and they make money off the drinks. So I was doing something a little earlier and I was bringing in some musical talent, but they weren't expecting as much drink sales from me. So I did have to pay them some money, but it was really cheap. It was like incredibly cheap. And they let me have the facility for like the whole day. And I brought in a bunch of local vendors and we had Melancholia come in and do an awesome act for us, and Sword Calling also sang for us. And we had Kitty Kaya, you're here. You did a fashion show for us as well. That was amazing. That was a really good event, and I really wanted to do that again this year, but of course it wasn't going to happen. So, well, that was your first fashion show. You did really good. I didn't know that. I might have known that at some point, but I forgot that because you did it so well. We'll do that again. That was a good time. All right, I think that's the last one. No, okay, yeah, that's the last of the slides. Oh, go back. All right. We're gonna share. We have a little bit more time, so we're gonna talk about London Gate, and then I'm gonna show you the one group of photos, and then that's gonna be it for today. And I'll let people go get ready for the tea.
The tea. Do real fast. This is fine.
That's fine. We have so like it's so hard to fit 5 years of shit we've done into. All right. So
there's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff that's just fun to talk about and reminisce.
Speaking of like behind the scenes stuff, I do not have good file organization.
At least they're not all titled final dash 2.
That's because I haven't opened this folder yet. Actually, it's not as bad. It's not as bad as I remember. There's no way I'm going to be able to open. Well, I don't know. I'll get it. Well, here we go. London Gate. Here you go. Beautiful, beautiful files. What do we want to talk about with this again?
You need to tell the story of the original inspiration for this. Like, why is it called London Gate? And like, what originally inspired you to make it? And then we can, I don't know, talk about the different versions of this that have gone out.
Yes. All right. So, I got to spend a few days in London on the way to or back from India in 2016. And we got to go. So, London has a ton of amazing free museums, and we had 3 days. So, we were like, cheap vacation, go to all the free museums. And they had an ironworks museum that was amazing and gorgeous. So, this design was inspired by like various ironwork I saw there. And so I kind of made my own ironwork design. And obviously, of course, it's also inspired by Iron Gate because Iron Gate is an iron gate, but in a very poovy sense with like some nonsense gradients. And yeah, this was one of my first Illustrator projects.
It's got your old name, like placeholder name.
Oh, I had a different font there. I think I eventually, before the end design, it got a logo put in it.
Yes. The final version of it has the logo. There was a lot of learning that happened with this print. There is a white line that is on every piece of the fabric that was ever made. And I wish I had had the foresight to bring it out. It's underneath too many bins for me to fish out right now. And there's a white line that's like just long enough for the skirt of the dress. So like I did every London Gate JSK that exists. I think there's 6. There's 9 of them in total. 6 of the original design, and then 3 special sets that are like my version, like what I created using Puvi's print that were a collaboration piece. And then there'll probably be at least 2 more created. But like I've made every dress that uses the London Gate fabric. And it's like the print error happened to be just high enough that I had the exact length for the skirt. And then I had a weird measure of the other fabric. So I had to do a lot of Frankensteining to get this fabric to work. It was also because it was Puvi's first custom fabric. The fabric is not an ideal choice.
I got it. I didn't know about spoon flour, or I did and I thought it was too expensive. I don't know. I went and I found somebody in California that does sports printing. And so I got a weird sport poplin.
It's a sportswear poplin.
It's a sportswear poplin. So it's like mostly waterproof.
It is really nice, but then I line it in a nice satin. It doesn't breathe at all.
No. So that was a learning experience. And I worked with like a production person, so I had to make 100 yards of this. I still have, I should have brought out the roll. Still have a roll, I think.
Yeah, you have a whole roll of the fabric still because it lived in my house for a few years, and then I handed it to you at a Teco because I'm like, here. We don't do as many collaborative pieces anymore. I still make some of your samples, but I'm also one of the reasons why Dogs and Desserts is not like released yet is because it's sitting here in my house.
I mean, that's because I made you remake it 3 times.
So yeah, I've made 3. This will be my 3rd set of samples that I've made for it, but I also could have had those samples done earlier. It's okay. We work it out. We're friends.
It takes a long time. Lolita takes a long time.
It's a long time because like also I make all the patterns, but what was I saying? I got distracted.
I remember. But yeah, I don't have any sewing training, fabric training.
You were gonna have somebody else take the extra fabric and make it into something.
I will.
You have a few other seamstresses available to you now.
Yeah, I just need to figure out what I'm doing. So this was also fun because like at this point I know a bit more about fabric design because like people like Lena and Emma and Haley from the Black Ribbon have taught me. But coming into this project, I knew nothing. And so a lot of it was like me being like, hey, what if we do this? And Lena being like, that's not physically possible.
I was like, no. How about this? Like, what the way for us, the way we usually do the like taking of an idea and turning it into a sample is you send me your fashion sketch and then I break that down into a functional pattern. I make the sample and then I send you the pattern.
Yes, and another big key thing that has been a part of all of my design process is Lena like taught me about plus size garment design. Like you can't just make it bigger, you actually have to think about the pattern. So that's something I actually think about now when I'm doing even my casual line, and that's because Lena told me to think about it.
I told you to do a what?
Hmm?
What did I tell you to do?
Of thinking about plus size garment design properly. Yes.
Yes.
That you cannot just like make everything bigger. You do actually have to change the shape of the pattern needs to change and color consideration. So
grading is a really hard, it's called pattern grading. It's a really hard thing to explain, but so especially when you get into plus size, it becomes very hard designing garments because every body type is different, like even more so when it comes to plus size figures. And so you're somewhat, that's why it's really hard. That's all I'm gonna say. It's really hard. But you and I have talked about it a lot.
Yes. And all of the plus size, the reason why all the plus size Lolita garments work is because Lena did it. I didn't do it. And that's why dogs and desserts will be nice too. The dogs and desserts gonna be good. It's gonna be real good.
I'm planning on having at least 2 sizes. I'm gonna try and do a 3rd size though, because I'm still working on the 3rd size of that pattern.
Yeah. Well, that dogs and desserts. So I came up with one pattern and then Paulina made it and then I didn't like it. So then I came up with another pattern and this pattern is really nice. Lena did it perfectly.
And now we have better fabric.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We have a new fabric supplier, which is great. Love it.
Love it.
But then I realized that the print design was out of scale. So I had to rescale it and then send her more fabric. And then we get another sample. And then we need to do the photo shoot so we can do the pre-order. But we can't do the photo shoot because it's a pandemic. And I talked with my mom. The photo shoots we've done have been safe and we have safe ways of doing it. But November and December, there wasn't really a good way to do it.
This is a spring print that you're going to do in the Pittsburgh snow.
I was, and my models were going to do it for me. But we're still, it might still be in the snow because it's going to be like Jan-Feb when we do the photo shoot and it might still be snow.
The fun thing about Dogs and Desserts is like a 3-way collab because the artwork, I saw somebody talking about it, was actually done by Cotton Book, who's another artist that we know. And it's Puvi's design. Her dog's actually in the print. Good, like, trivia people, the one cat I got to name because I'm a cat, like that's my name. And I designed the pattern for it. So it's me, Puvi, and Cotton Book.
Yeah. Yes. And I think it shows, like the best of all 3 of us really shows in that. Be good. All right. I'm going to go through the masks real quick. Then we're going to do a few questions maybe, unless it's super late, in which case
only in the pandemic.
Yes. So 2020, I didn't do as much this year. Well, I say that, and then like I accidentally helped start a virtual event fashion group. So you can take that with a grain of salt.
For people who don't know, J Fashion on Demand is because Puvi was like some friends and then they got involved and they're like, let's do a virtual techo.
Yeah. Some friends were like, let's do this low-key virtual fashion walk, and they know what they're doing, Alexis and Kat. And I was like, hey, what if I made you do a lot more work? What if I kept making you do work this entire year?
But like, okay, in the chat, whoever is in the J Fashion on Demand chat, okay, that's the joke with most of the indie designers I know. It's like, oh my god, I am so overworked, I can't do anything. And like, this is literally me. I'm like, I'm gonna do like 5 conventions this year and that is it. And then I end up doing 10, 12.
And then you do like 3 for me, and then 3 more for Emma.
Yeah. I'm like, I sign up for 5, and then I do 5 with the collective and 2 with Puvi.
That's fine. It's fine. All right,
but fine.
One thing I am proud of with 2020 is, proud I accidentally prepared everybody for the pandemic, I guess. I started making masks 2 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, for the Menhera community because it was something that particularly European Lolitas Menhera indicated a desire for more cute masks for daily wear, for people with chronic health issues and for people who rode transit. And just the Menhera in general are more aware of disease spread and catching disease than I think the general community for obvious reasons. So I had started producing masks and selling them a couple years ago. And even at conventions, they always sold really well because I was the only person who had cute print masks. And when I started making them, I had talked to a couple people like, what do you think? And they were all like, what are you doing? That's stupid. Even Lena was like, I mean, that's a lot. Can you sell enough to make back your input?
The minimum order quantity is so high that it made me
Very
like,
high.
you know, like
Yeah, 300. But I sold 300 more than that before ever pandemic even started. And then in March, especially, I got so many tags being like, "Oh, well, I have a mask already," and like post-apocalypse outfits, people tagging me. So I grabbed a few for some people whose names are tagged in the titles. Here you can see my friend Becca doing good work at her job, making all the things. Here's Elias again, matching. Fiona, of course, been super cute. So this was something I was like, oh, you know, I don't know if many people know that I've been making fashion masks forever. I know a lot of J fashion brands started doing it this year, but I'd like to put myself on record as like I was here. I was here first. This mask example was sold out. This design was sold out before the pandemic ever started. So you see a lot of people with this one being like, oh yeah, that thing I bought a year ago. It's useful now. Oh yes, a good times, good pandemic times for everyone. Yes, take that one brag. That's like one of my designer in history moments of being the J fashion designer who had fabric masks before the pandemic started.
Yeah.
No one will remember, but that's fine.
We remember.
we will. I will remember forever. I'll be a 90-year-old woman being like, remember that time. All right, I think we can give people 3 minutes for questions and be out of here. And Alexis won't be over here like,
okay,
don't you have to be back streaming in like 10 minutes?
Anybody else who has questions? Somebody asked how we met, and we did talk about that. I think Alexis came in. It's under discussion because I believe it was at Techo, but we have memories of meeting each other at AnashiCon, which is a very tiny event in South Carolina. But that was 4 years ago.
Yes, that was sometime.
It was 4 years ago, early 4 years ago. So
I'm pretty sure we met very briefly at Nashi and then more detail at Techo, but who knows?
I have no memory of you from Techo. Like, I have no memory of you prior to Techo. Like, I remember at Techo being like, okay, well, whatever. Who is this person? I don't know. I mean, I'll watch a booth. Sure. That's what I was there for. I was there running the collective booth that year.
That was good. Thank you for that. And then you ran my booths like 300 times more.
Yeah, we split booths a lot since then, and then of course the collective.
Yes. Backstory for Existence is Futile. Yeah, I should. That was like my turning point set. I should talk about that.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can click and talk. So Existence is Futile was my first Menhera design, and Menhera has always had things about puns, and I also knew this artist Bitterbat, who was a much newer artist at the time and did fantastic work. So we agreed to collab. Oh, here's another one that's a million. 9 million files. Yeah, look at that. So we decided to collab together on some work, and I wanted the idea to be a robot Menhera character with the tagline "Existence is futile" to be kind of the pun, and then it's also like the nihilism for the Menhera, and to be the first casual line I did. So that all I did is I went to Bitterbat with that concept. Robot Minhara Girl. Tagline is existence is futile. And so Bitterbat came up with the character design 100% just based on that concept. Here together, I based a pin on this design that she made afterwards. And so this was like the first, this is also like the precursor to the Betty Beat character that we will hopefully do more with in the future when we're both more alive. This and like this is like 3 or 4 years ago at this point, and her art was that good then, and her art's even better now. So you should follow Bitterbat on all the things. So I wanted to play around with the set a little bit, and I ended up photo manipulating into this like nonsense and putting it on the long sleeve shirt for funsies because I wanted the long sleeve shirt was designed for me. Everything else was like designed for other people, but that black shirt was designed for me. So we did that.
I think Puvy low-key has to have a black colorway or black or red colorway in every release for Puvy.
Oh yeah, the black and red colorways don't sell well, but they exist because I need them. This is that shirt if other people wanted to know what we were talking about. It's fun. Yeah, and then Kimura, you wore it, and I was like, oh shit. And then this is the line that got me attention with the casual crowd, too. All right, were there any last minute question, and then we'll let you guys go get ready for the tea party.
I want a reminder on these earrings because I know I'm wearing the OG ones and you just re-released them. What's the story behind this symbol that you created?
I just wanted to combine the like male and female symbol and was playing around in Illustrator, and I made it and I liked it. But yeah, the OG one ended up with the design flaw where it breaks a little easy.
Where's my camera?
Yeah.
Let's see, that's the OG. And then I also, because
you also have the
number one Puvy fangirl. Not really. Oh, that's the new one.
Yeah, look at that.
He's a little shorter,
more design,
fatter.
Yeah, a little bit more stylized, and no more. Most importantly, will not break on you now.
Yeah.
All right, I think. Look at all those files. I'm going to show you guys the dogs and desserts files briefly, and then we'll close it out. Just see. lot of effort. Slaughterhouse also took years.
Somebody asked, "What about the heat heart design, or the heartbeat design necklace and combs? What about them? Oh, just the beat." The heartbeat. Wasn't that also a part of Betty the Existence of Futile line?
Yes, that was one that was a motif that came up for the Existence is Futile. I spent actually a ridiculous amount of time on it because at first I wanted it to be
that was one of your first 3D pins.
Yes, that was my first 3D pin. At first I wanted it to be more realistic, but the realistic heartbeat shape was both mechanically it would be more fragile and also more importantly it'd be more stabby, and I didn't want to stab anybody, so we ended up with this design with all the nice rounded corners.
You're wearing
I don't know what people think about that, but like as an engineer I think about all of that stuff a lot when I design. It's fun. I like this design a lot. I probably will keep. I still have like 4 or 5 colorways available, but this will probably be a permanent design. Though there's also the arrows. Look at those. Also,
I don't remember those.
Yeah, well, they got put online late and they never had like a big fanfare release. They just kind of showed up.
What made you do? Is the arrow like more for the Betty Beat character?
I just wanted to try. I don't know. I just wanted to make an arrow heartbeat.
Okay.
I didn't have a good reason for it.
I mean, nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you just want to do what you want to do.
All right. I think that's time for us, though, so people can get to the tea, and so I can take a quick break before having to do quiz trivia. So thank you, everybody. I'll catch some of y'all at the tea. I'm excited. I hope you paid attention so you can answer those quiz questions.
I'm excited for the tea.
Oh, do you want to self-show anything, Lena?
Self-show what?
Yourself.
Myself? My outfit today I knew that I wanted to wear the Poovy Anxiety Angel because I was in the fashion walk yesterday and I took part in the neon and the blush line. And so today I'm representing the ink collection and we're talking about all the skeletons in Poovy's closet. I'm also not wearing any pants because I got a bodysuit on. Because Zoom calls, why have pants?
Why? All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you at the tea.
I think my outfits are punny. Bye. See you there.
Oh, it's like literally a bodysuit. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a bodysuit. It's literally, I love talking about the skeletons in my closet because I have a lot of skeletons in my closet and there are so many layers of puns in my outfit. Like, I could sit here for another 10 minutes talking about all of it.
Oh, beautiful. I learned my lesson about having people tell me puns at a tea party, though, for prizes. That was a mistake.
The Poovy inspired. Okay, but we're going to go. We're going to stop. We're going to go. We've known each other for too long, and that's why we're over time.
Oh, all right. Bye, everybody. I hope you enjoyed whatever that was.